24/7. I need to speak English, guys. You know, Americans would look like strangely upon to say, you do that? Yes, we do. So I stopped going to his mom. And I went to my mom. And my mom was like, he did what? I need to talk to him. Sometimes he does things that,
Happy wife, happy
life.
Yo, it's your boy, LJ Chaplin, with Lady Caesar, bringing to you Chilling with the Chaplins, where we deep dive, giving you practical concepts in ministry, business, relationship, and personal development. So, we can take control of our life. Let's go, and let's get it started. Welcome to Chilling with the Chaplins. I'm LJ with the one and only, my lovely wife, Lady Caesar. She is in the building. Yes, you know, each and every week we're about that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, we know what you're saying, LJ.
Yes, so I want to know, who is the fortunate person this week?
Yes, before we get started, let's go into shout out of the
week. Yes. Who is the shout out of the week? The shout out of the week goes to Tonto Crumb. This person will, oh sweet Jesus, I'm loving this so much, and I'm so looking forward to more. I speak blessings upon your life, fam. Y'all even look alike. May God give you y'all wisdom daily in Jesus' mighty name, as you impact our lives with nothing but the best of the best.
Amen.
And then she put 100. And I forgot she did a little emojis as well.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Tato. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We actually took that from our very first video. Why?
Yes.
Because we just want to remind you that from the beginning,
yes,
we had people applauding us, and we're just happy that you guys are still with us. So we just want to say thank you to all you Chaplain chillers. Keep bringing those comments. We love to see them. We love to read them. And guess what? If you comment, you get a chance to get a shout out. So
yes.
Do it. All right. Now let's get into today's topic.
Yes.
So you guys know that we were celebrating yesterday, for those who follow us on social media, 5 years in marriage.
5 years. And my wife's 24th. Oh.
Yeah, I'm 24. He's right. My 24th birthday. Of course, I'll always be 24. I love that. Well, I happen to have my anniversary along with my birthday.
Yes.
That's a topic for another day. We'll tell you why if we haven't yet already. Anyways, so we were celebrating our anniversary, which is awesome. We just thank God for the 5 years of grace and, you know, for keeping us till this far. We would have not have done it without God. Trust me. Marriage is a ministry for those who you married. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sacrifices. A lot of compromise. A lot of joy. A lot of not a lot of sadness, but some sadness, some tears are shared as well. And you know, the first 5 years, they say, is one of the hardest years in marriage. So we passed with flying colors.
Yes, we made it.
So we really thank God that we really made it. And I'm glad you said that, because before we get into our discussion today, which is all things marriage. I remember on our wedding day, if we could just start it there.
Yes.
We had some people not come to our wedding because they thought we wouldn't make it past the first year.
Yes.
Isn't that sad though? People predicting somebody's future and destiny, not knowing what God's purpose is for our lives.
True.
Well, what do they call it? Haters. We made it, and we're gonna make it to the next till we do us part.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we understand that. You'll get to learn probably why some people said that as we talk in our discussion. But even though we feel like people should not be judges.
Yes.
You know, where we had family members who actually did not attend our wedding because they felt like it's not gonna work. Why not give us a chance? You can't judge what happened in the last wedding or marriage to what's happening now. I felt like there was a lot of judgment. It hurt a lot to actually have that come to my ears, to say people didn't attend because they didn't see our marriage passing even a year. Not just that, on our wedding day, I remember as I was getting myself some food. In America, you serve yourself even as a bride. Just a disclaimer. So I was just going to get my food on the buffet, and this lady didn't realize, family as well, that I was behind her. She's gossiping about my husband on our wedding day. Like, seriously? Saying, oh, I hope he keeps this one. Don't do that.
Yes.
If you invite her to somebody's whatever, respect them.
Respect them.
Gossip about them afterwards, outside in your own house or in your own car. Don't gossip about them while you're still in their event.
Yes.
Anyway, we're not there. We're not going to start off with this negative.
Yes.
I just had to pass it because we are talking all things marriage. And we're going to start off from the beginning, y'all. From the beginning.
You know what I'm saying?
How we met. Some of you guys know a little story about myself, how I came to the United States. That my intention was not marriage, guys. I did not see myself dying in this country. I did not see myself in America being my last stop. No, I did not. I had come to this country a couple of years while I was very young. I was like 20, 21 when I came to this country. And I didn't like it. I really didn't. And I left after a year and try to explore the rest of the world, Europe. And I vowed to myself that I will not go back to America because it wasn't just nice, it wasn't kind to me. But destiny had it that God had other plans, and I ended up coming back here due to school, which I ended up even not finishing because of stuff that I will talk about, in other podcasts. But I now know that God had intended for me to come back for this handsome young man. It was just because it had to be done. He had to take me out of my country for a reason that was valid enough for me to leave my home, leave everything that I knew, to come and marry this man. And I know now that it is a ministry that was sent to me. It wasn't a mistake that we're here together. And I'm happy that I'm here. So now, one thing I want to ask you, baby, we met online, right?
Yes.
And when you went online, by the way, we didn't swipe left, but we did meet on a Christian website called Christian Mingle.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to advertise them. Why not? Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be sitting here, right?
Amen.
And and so we met. My intention was just try the waters, because
test it out, right?
Yeah, because I was like, ooh, online dating. I'm African, so for me, online dating was like very taboo. I thought criminals, I thought pedophiles, I thought all these crazy things, but I wanted to give it a try and see what happens. And lo and behold, I met my husband. Like, for real, yeah, it happened. So, baby, I want to pose a question to you. When you went into the website, were you looking for a wife, or were you just looking for a girlfriend? Like, for you, what was that experience about online dating? Was it your first experience doing it? Because for me, it was my first. And, hey, I hit gold. Hey. So tell us, baby.
Yes, I was looking for a wife, and it was not my first experience.
Oh.
We talked about it already. And
You did?
Yes, episode 2.
Okay.
We talked about it. But yeah, it was not my first experience. It's actually my second experience with the same Christian website.
Yeah.
And so I knew what I wanted. I was ready, and so yeah, I was let's go.
And you're happy with your catch?
I'm happy.
Awesome.
So I went in knowing that I was gonna find someone.
Yeah, and I went in just playing,
Yeah.
I wasn't looking, because if I was looking for a husband, then it meant that I had to stay in this country. And I remember telling my mother that somebody wants to get married to me. She's like, so you mean you're gonna die in America? I was like, I didn't even think of it that way. My poor mom took it to end of life, and she's like, oh my God, I won't even be able to be there on your last days. Like, yeah, Ma, I think you're taking it too extreme, but yeah, my tomb will be in America, and I'm destined to be here, you know. So that's how that rolled out. Now, so what, like from my intro, having mentioned that some people was saying that my husband would not be able to keep this marriage much longer than a year. It's due to the fact that, and my husband is okay with me saying this, that this is his second marriage.
Yes.
We're gonna be as transparent as possible. This is like, because we're helping someone out there that even though you are married to a person that's divorced, that's myself. My husband is divorced. This was my first marriage. It doesn't mean that you won't find your helpmates out there. Because you might have married someone and they're not who God had destined for you, right? Because sometimes we marry other people's soulmates.
Yes.
And I'll allow LJ to actually just talk on that a bit. But my point was, these people saw that my husband's first marriage failed within a space of a year. You guys were married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had an assumption that the second marriage won't work out as well, not knowing that now that it was God's will. How did you take that? How would you just talk on us about that, and and how you would just talk about that, like being married now for the second time. How does it feel? What's the difference for being married for the first time?
Yeah, I'm just more open. I was like my wife, like we discussed earlier on early episodes. I was very rigid.
Yeah.
I didn't like to. I was so stuck in my ways and my tradition.
So when people saying, "Oh, he's changed," I guess they're right. He's changed.
Yeah, I changed.
But I always say that he's changed for the good, because he's loving the person that he is. I'm not the cause of his change.
No.
Because people have this assumption that the wives change you. No, you change by choice.
I changed by choice.
Because you could have changed in your first marriage, but you just chose not to.
I chose not to.
Right.
So it's not that she did anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. She was a lovely person.
Yeah.
I don't blame her where the marriage ended. She's a lovely person, and she will find the person that's fit.
Maybe she's found
her quality, or maybe she found someone. You're right. Or maybe she found someone. So but it always throw me and say it was me. I would never say it was because of her. It was because of me. I know who I was, and I know the type of person I was. I was the type of person that I was so rigid. I didn't want to change.
Talk to us about rigid. What do you mean by rigid? Just to help those people who are in a marriage and are not flexible enough in accommodating.
Yeah, that's it. I wasn't accommodating. I wasn't flexible. I was so stuck in what I believe and my values and my Christian belief.
So you came in the
and
marriage,
my tradition.
You came in the marriage as a single. You didn't come in open-minded to say, I'm marrying another individual.
Another
and
individual.
They will come with their opinions.
Exactly. And that's what it was. She was one way. She was similar, something like more spontaneous. She was somewhat spontaneous. My wife is just way out there.
Which one now?
Huh?
Which wife?
My wife.
Okay.
My wife only got one wife.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
My wife is way out there, but yeah, she. But I was rigid, and I was also. I believe in church all the time.
Which is not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
But also, can I just say something?
I had no balance.
Thank you for saying that word, because it's so important in marriage. Those who follow us know our story, that when I've heard that my husband was a pastor, I ran like crazy. I didn't want to.
No, you just didn't run. You blocked me.
Okay, I blocked him. Same thing. I just didn't want anything to do with him, because I know what follows a pastor's wives. I've been close to a couple of pastors' wives, and I know that they live under a microscope. Not just the pastor's wife, but the pastors as well, where people are not expecting them to make any mistakes. People are expecting them to live this righteous life, which is the right thing. Yes, the righteous life is good. You have to, because we're Christians and we're not ashamed of that. But also, like, you can't make one wrong step. You can't say things that people will disapprove of, things that they think is not holy enough, you know. So I didn't want to live under that scrutiny. I wanted to just live as Zayeme and be able to do what I feel makes me happy, and of course does not shame the Lord, because I was saved as well. But where the thing I wanted to talk about, baby, was that, you know, even though there are those assumptions, we still ended up being married. But before we got married, I had to set it very clear to my husband, fiance then, or boyfriend then, that I really want to marry him as my man. Because one thing people make a mistake about is that when they marry, like a pastor, for example, like my husband has said, they lose the balance. He becomes a pastor even at home. Where when the wife fell in love, they didn't fall in love with the pastor, they fell in love with the man. So in my household, he is LJ, he is Leonard. At church, he is Pastor Chaplin. Of course, that is not, there's no confusion there. I submit under him, and I respect him as my pastor. But at home, I respect him as my husband. He is my husband. So I'm happy that those roles now in this marriage, you knew very clearly that they are two different roles. Whereas in the first marriage, you did not really differentiate the roles.
Yes, differentiate.
You were husband, you wanted to be a pastor even in the home. And in the church. Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, well, really, I just didn't have no balance. Mm-hmm. I was where I was always like church and doing revivals and doing these different things, where my first wife didn't want to do all that kind of stuff. You know, and sometimes what happened is, if you don't have balance, you will tire the person out. And I realized that with my first wife, that I tired her out. You know, because I was this way and she didn't want it. She wanted just to spend some time with me. You know, just staying, even if we didn't go out, just being home, watching TV together. We was in church instead of enjoying. I was like, cause you know, I mean, Monday to Friday we work.
Yeah.
Sunday we in church. Saturday, you know, we was in, you know, having church.
Not just one service, so, 2 or 3 services.
So we had no time to spend together, really, and just chill. And so I realized something had to give.
Yeah.
I had to make some changes with myself if I wanted my marriage to work the next time around, because I believe I don't believe in divorce. I believe what the Bible says. I believe in marriage. I believe in staying with your mate. And so I didn't want that to happen again. I wasn't gonna have a second failed marriage.
Right.
I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna have a second failed marriage. Cause I say, if this don't work, it's not gonna be a third marriage.
Yeah.
I'd rather just stay single for the rest of my life and not have a third, because, you know, if I can't get this right, then maybe it's not for me to get married.
Right.
Because I don't believe in divorce, and I feel like this don't work, then it's not
so
for me.
let's talk cultural differences and cultural shocks.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
You know,
let's get this started.
So you are married to a foreigner.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Who happens to be South African.
Yes.
And is there a difference, since you are married to an American before? Like, would you point out like a difference, that this is the difference of being married to American and being married to a foreigner? And we're talking to the audience who is looking to marry outside of their culture, outside of their race, outside of their, familiar surroundings. Is it advisable? What would your advice be? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Is there a difference? You know.
I would say no. It's not a difference. Especially because we both black. Black people is black.
So hold on. Wait. Because I've got friends who are married to white people. So
I'm saying we got the same.
Don't.
We got the same cultures. We got the same.
It's kind of the same culture.
We got the same rhythm.
We're not the same culture.
We're the same color.
We're the same. But then does that matter, being the same color? Because if the cultures are different, you do things differently.
Yeah, but you know what? but in a lot of different ways, it doesn't matter. If I'm American, you South Africa. In some ways, we do the same things. We are so alike in so many different ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Huh?
Like what?
Our rhythm, the way how we dress, we flamboyant, we
flamboyant?
Yeah, I mean maybe not flamboyant, but we flashy.
Really?
Yeah, we both like to, Americans, black people like to dress. We like to look good.
Mm-hmm.
You think we don't like to look good?
So are you saying white people don't like to look good? Let's put
I'm not
point
pulling words. I'm talking about though, but our style is similar.
Okay.
Being a black man or a black woman, our style is similar. It doesn't matter where. If I go to South Africa, I believe that I will feel at home.
Right.
If I go to any African country, I believe I feel at home. Because of I'm seeing myself or whatever. Yeah.
So to answer is
there
is no difference.
It's no
as long as people love each other.
Yes.
And they're willing to work together.
Yes.
Then and I want to say this, even whether you're not the same race, love is love. For me, love is love. Love is blind. If you fall in love, you fall in love. It doesn't matter the creed, the race, the culture, because love, surpasses all. Yes, it is usually not enough.
It's not enough. Yes,
but it's a good start, to get a relationship going.
And again, love is love, and at the end of the day, you want to have love, but you want to also build that around communication.
Communication is key in every marriage.
You can't go without any relationship or marriage without that communication.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't, I really advise people. I think online dating is great because at least you get to talk for a few times before you actually
get to connect.
Because once
emotionally.
because once you connect emotionally and it's up
and really talk it through, because some people
rush the process. Because you're so desperate to see the individual so that you connect with the person emotionally. Physically, yeah. If you don't have that communication from the beginning, and you don't not connecting intellectually, you will miss a lot of blind spots. You would, because once your emotions are involved, that's it. You in your feelings now, and so you want to take the feelings out. So that's why I love the online dating. I love the online dating because at least I'm able to talk to somebody.
As long as you're both honest with each other and there's no lies. Some people do lie in online dating.
But that's why you communicate and that's why you're talking because I have the only thing I have is pictures. Now I'm not sure that's right, but
that's recent.
Or that's recent, yes. But all I have is pictures and what you're saying in your profile and what we're saying, chatting back and forth. Yeah. Now, as we keep talking, and I'm getting to know you, I'm asking you questions. Yeah. And so as I keep asking you questions, eventually the real answer gonna come out. Right. Because if you keep asking thought-provoking questions, the real answer will come out. Yeah. And that's what you want.
Let's go back to cultural differences and cultural shocks. So what were one of the cultural shocks that you had in our marriage, in this 5 years of marriage? Like, just give us 3. I've got a couple in mind that you're like, oh my God, like, if I'd met an American, I don't think I'd be going through this. Like, what are some of the?
It was only one for me.
Yeah.
It's only one. Lobola.
Damn! Talk to us about that.
Yeah, Lobola. That because in America we don't have to worry about Lobola.
What was your feeling about Lobola? Lobola is bride price for those who don't know. What was your feeling around? Did you believe, or you thought like I was cheating you on that? Like, were you open to that? What
I was open to it, but I'm like, I was open to it because you said that's something that you
it's culture.
That you want to do, that it was your culture, and I understood if I wanted to marry you or I wanted to be with you, then I had to go through it. But yeah, I'm like, yo, for real? Like, yeah, because I know in America we don't have to pay a bride price to marry somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that was one, but yeah, that's about it.
For me, to be honest with you, it's the English part. Yo,
you get
English 24/7.
She married to a South African. Like, African American.
Some of us don't know English properly.
Can
and
you,
then
Honorable
we
Madisha,
can only come and say,
Honorable
hong,
Madisha.
hong, hong, hong.
24/7. I need to speak English, guys. It's a lot. I mean, I dream about English. I'm dreaming English now. I'm mad in English. I shout in English. It's like English all the way. It's too much. That's why you find me sometimes I throw in my Zulu here and there because I miss my language. It's exhausting to speak a language that is not yours 24/7. But hey, Ketile, this is what I chose. And
what you just say?
This is what I chose. And there's no turning back. So that was one thing for me. In my mind, because I thought I would enjoy being married to a different culture, but I didn't think about the language part. That if I speak my language, I have to now always translate. That's a big culture shock, guys. And then I have to always speak in English. Some words are not expressed properly in a word that in a language that's not yours.
You can't direct translate, right?
And it's hard to direct translate. Like ketile, I just said, that's direct translation that I did. But so that was one of the culture shocks for me. Second culture shock for me was the fact that and we'll talk about this on a Sunday Funday video about my role as a bride in an American culture. It's so different from what I know and what I'm used to, and in a way I kind of wanted to do what I'm used to, but I got like I don't know how to say, but it was not understood that I wanted to come and help my mother-in-law. I wanted to do things, and it was like I was overdoing it, but that was like culture shock, which in America everything is pretty chilled, like I'll put the translation. Like a frog, okay, direct translation, a frog and a frog jumps on their own. Like you fend for yourself, literally.
Okay.
Whereas in South Africa, we're very communal, and your in-laws become one family with you. There's not even a separation where they call you an in-law. That's why I was like, can you not call me in-law? Just call me daughter or call me sister. Because this in-law is like a separation. Like when you're not part of us when you're at the in-law part. Your sisters are my sisters. Mm-hmm. The in-law part is not necessary. Your mother, your father, they're my parents. Mm-hmm. And that's how we look at it in the African culture. And then of course we'll have those wicked people who are like, yeah, my coat, no, whatever. But we try not to make you feel like an outsider when you've become part of us. Hence, the lobola part is so important. The exchanging of gifts is so important because we buy you into this family, or the husband, they buy you into this family so that you become a complete member. There's no separation. But we will learn about that tomorrow, about the cultural differences. Of course, there are things that Americans would look like strangely upon to say, you do that? Yes, we do. And just like how I do the same with Americans, like, oh my God, you do that? Yes, they do, because it's a different cultures. And one thing that I've learned is just to respect each other.
Yes.
That's the main thing, whether we do things differently. Like I learned another thing is that my husband loves fried chicken.
Yes,
I do not like fried chicken, okay? I think it's too fatty. And I just think, why fried chicken?
Well, that's
so I've come to embrace.
Thing. That's
exactly.
Our
it's
thing.
a culture. So I've come to embrace that as well. And I'm okay with it now. I don't eat it all the time. Otherwise, I'll be twice as big as I am right now.
So you gotta realize we don't have that much culture, but the little culture we do have, that's what we fried chicken, macaroni and cheese. That's our culture, the soul food. That's our culture, and so we don't have that much because our culture was stripped from us.
Right.
It was taken from us, and so this little bit of culture,
and mainly
it came from
food related, right?
Yeah.
Most of the culture is food related.
Because that's because you gotta remember,
that was the escape.
that was the escape from slavery and all this kind of stuff. We came together at the soul food and dinner and all that kind of stuff. That was our escape from slavery and hard times. So that gave us like peace.
Yeah. So any other cultural shocks that you had besides the Bola that you had?
No, really, no. I was able to accept.
So how does it feel that when I'm speaking my language and you cannot understand my conversation, I will be laughing out loud, I'll be saying all these expressions. How does that make you feel? Married to me, don't you feel sometimes that I'm talking about you? Because sometimes your name would pop up in the conversation. I'll be like, oh, Leonard, and you know what you say about me, like, and it's not even like we're talking about you, but we're talking. Yeah, we'll be talking about you, but not like a bad thing. You know what I mean? But how does that make you feel? Do you trust me enough that I'm not gonna say bad things about you, or how does it feel?
Yes, I do trust you. I don't, like I said, I don't think about it. When you're talking now, I do. When I see something juicy, I might ask, like, "Oh, what you just say?"
It's very inquisitive.
Yeah, I'm like, "What you just say?" Yeah. And anytime you're talking in Zulu or to somebody, I do ask, "Who was that?"
Yeah, I do a lot of translation. A lot.
Yeah, who was that? Who are you talking to? So yeah, So yeah, I don't. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I actually love it. I actually like when she speak in Zulu to somebody else.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna learn one.
What
day.
does it sound like in your ears when I speak Zulu?
You speak in another language.
It's not like I'm speaking French, like bonjour.
I don't understand it, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind.
But you don't
like
feel left out.
No, because I think because I love you. I think because I love you, I think you said nothing bad about me. And like I said, when I married you, I was marrying you for who you was.
Yeah, the complete package.
Yeah. I trust that you not talking about that.
One thing I could say is that, as not being able to speak a different language with you as a couple, sometimes it's hard. I do wish that you could speak my language, or we could have like a secret language, because sometimes, as couples we gossip. And sometimes, you don't have an opportunity to be in like a secret place to gossip. And if you speak English and the people that are listening are speaking English, or you people that you want to gossip about are speaking English, it's hard to hide what you're trying to do. Like sometimes you'll be doing, couples are crazy. You'll be doing like some body language thing, like, things like that. And so sometimes I just wish that you spoke a different language so that we were able to talk.
I spoke Zulu, right?
Yeah, I spoke Zulu. We were able to speak about whatever we want to speak about and not be heard by other people. Not necessarily gossip badly, but, just be able to have our own little chat on the side. Yeah. Yes. So let's move on.
One day, I'm going to learn one day.
Yeah, you will. I know. I knew you were going to learn. Good student so far. What about answering each other's phones? How is that in our marriage? How do we do it in the Chaplins family?
It doesn't matter. We actually have the same code on our phones.
Do.
So,
but why did we even put a code?
We lock it out from everybody else. But we had the same code, so she could go to my phone, I could go to her phone. Anytime. It just,
What's your take with that? Should couples keep their phones to themselves, or should they be like us, where we're just open with each other? I think the day I hide my phone from you, that will be like a red flag to say, oh, what is she hiding?
What is she hiding?
Because she's never really hid the phone from me.
Yeah.
And I think vice versa. So even our computers, our laptops, everything, we have the same passcode.
Yeah, same passcode. Everything is between us. It's everything the same. There's no hidden agenda. There's nothing that we hiding. And that's what you have to. If you want to marry somebody, you got to be open.
Transparent.
Transparent.
And I think that has helped us in our marriage. We're very transparent.
That's just like my wife was talking about in a few past episodes. She talking about putting out the skeletons. When you don't have nothing to hide, then you don't mind having your phone open to your spouse, because you got nothing to hide. You already told him, so
there's no insecurity.
There's no insecurity.
Even if I see a message from a woman, I know that my husband is in business, so it could be a business acquaintance.
Yes.
I don't like, oh, is that a woman texting you? No, none of that. And vice versa, I'm also doing businesses on the side. If he sees a picture of a man or a text message, because I do some flyers as well for my business. So I could have a man's picture on my phone and he'll be like, who's that man? No, he trusts me enough that I wouldn't do that to him. And I'm like, because I don't hide it. It's okay for him to also check it out. And he's allowed to even question what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think what has been a winning factor for us is just being transparent and being honest with each other, and communication as well.
Yes.
Well,
that's key.
Let's move on to in-laws. We can't leave that we're talking about this topic in marriage, because in-laws play a huge role in a marriage. What they say, that you don't marry each other, you also marry each other's families. So how has it been your experience with your in-laws on my side of the family? I know you haven't met a lot of them, especially in person, but you have met a lot of them over the phone, FaceTime, etc. How have they made you feel? And I would answer the same with you.
You know what? I had a great experience. My in-laws is amazing. I think they're so loving. They're so kind. They
all love Mkhwenyana.
Yeah, they had that hospitality.
And they like him to speak in American slang. I don't know why. Hey, stop family.
Yeah, so I don't mind. So I love it so much that one day I do want to make my home in South Africa. Yeah, that's how much I love it so much. I do want to. I want to live between two countries. Yeah,
they're looking forward to meeting you in person, that I know for sure. And they love you, because I think that the love comes from the fact that they see that I'm happy and you're taking, good care of me, you're treating me well. And I think that's where it comes from. If you were to treat me badly, the love would definitely not be there, because they were very protective of me. But also the fact that you've accommodated some of my cultural behaviors, if I could put it that way, where I have to send some money back home to my mom to take care of her. If you were another man, you would stop me doing that, but you've allowed that to happen. And I think to my mom, it's like, oh, he loves me and cares for me, because you could have stopped my daughter from doing that, whereas it's part of our culture to actually do that. To help family, etc.
We do have this vow. So
you better say it.
From the beginning, my wife established this round, so
We're gonna roll back our wedding.
I just had to go along with it. So she said it.
So you don't agree with it?
I do now. I agree with it. But the round that we have now, the round that we have was.
You've always had it from day one, okay? Day one. This is what you said on the wedding day.
I didn't say this on the wedding day.
Okay, you might have said it before, but I heard it with my own ears. Go ahead, tell us what it is.
What she said was, mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. So so because of that vow,
He's bound to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But no, I don't mind. That stuff. I don't mind. I believe, it's okay. If you want to take care of your family or whatever, I won't stop her. Yeah.
Because you've learned one secret.
Yes, one secret I learned from my first failed marriage, and I talked to other married couples.
Yeah.
Married men, and they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life. Yes.
Keep your wife happy. Everything is gonna be good.
Everything gonna be good. Yes, and so that's the one thing I just try to.
And another thing is that my husband, what he said while he was courting me, he said he will never say no to me.
Yes.
And he has his ways of saying no. He does say no, trust me, but the word no doesn't come out of his mouth, but I do get versions of no coming out of his mouth. One of it is,
let's pray about it.
Yes. Or I'm gonna pray about it. Or I have to ask the Lord about that. Right? No, are you saying yes or no? Just tell me. Yeah. Anyways, so when it comes to answering the question about in-laws, I love my in-laws to bits, and I'm just happy that they welcome me to be part of their family. Mm-hmm. Although the cultural differences do pose a bit of a clash at times. But I think it takes time. It takes effort from both ends. to make it work. But yeah, marriage is not easy
It's
because
not
of the
easy.
extended family, because they won't understand you as much as your spouse understands you.
Yes.
They won't give you grace as much as your spouse would give you grace. So
that's why it's important that you keep your marriage out of your family,
Absolutely.
your in-laws
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
You don't whatever goes on in your household
Yeah.
between husband and wife. You don't go tell your mama.
Yeah.
You don't go tell your daddy, because they won't extend grace
Yeah.
like you. You know, you could be upset with your spouse one day, and you go tell your mama, oh, she did this or he did this or whatever. You forgave him or you forgave her, but your mother didn't forgive.
Yeah.
Your mother didn't forgive.
So just to talk about that a bit, my mother is my best friend. We talk about absolutely everything. Like, she is like my sister, my older sister. So I find it hard at times not to tell her some stuff when they're going on in my family, in my, you know, in my marriage, because like my husband is saying, she will hold grudges towards my husband. So this one time I said to her, we had fought with Glenn, we had an argument. And of course, the first person that I told, Ma, Leonard just did this, that. Because when I used to tell his mom used to say, oh, baby girl, his father was just like that. Just pray about it. It's going to be okay. I'm used to it. I mean, that's not the answer I want. So I stopped going to his mom. And I went to my mom. And my mom was like, he did what? And I need to talk to him. And I remember early in our marriage, she used to send you messages or call you, Leonard, don't do that. And then this is what happened when I realized I need to stop, okay? Was when I had forgiven my husband. I had even forgotten that we had an argument. And my mom was like, and I was talking about my husband, and I to my mom, she was giving me this look. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, you forgave him? I'm like, yes, your responsibility is just to listen, okay? You're not supposed to say anything. You're just supposed to say, oh, yeah? Really? Oh, shame. Oh, man, so sorry for you. And then you block it out of your mind, okay? Because you are not supposed to hold it. I just need somebody to vent to who I can trust, okay? And you're the only person that I know will not take my business and tell other people. So when I tell you my business, your responsibility is to say, oh, okay, because ezababili azingena, translated as the two people's business, you cannot really intervene.
Yes.
Because you're going to be left behind. And my mom learned the hard way. Now she knows that if I ever mention anything about our marriage, the next day she can't ask me about it because it's old history. My husband and I will have an argument. 5 minutes later, we've made up.
We made up.
If you're still stuck in the past, hey, you left on your own because I'm in love with my husband. So yeah, be careful. Don't say things to your families about your spouse, because they will hold on to things and that can destroy your marriage.
I think because and one thing too, by me and my wife, we are so alike, but we're so different.
Yeah.
And I learned to, I kind of just allow my wife to be who she are. And I,
with her bald head and everything.
Yeah, just
big earrings.
And just learning what she can do, so that I can allow her to focus on what she good at, and then vice versa. Yeah, she because we both have strengths. We both have strengths and weaknesses, and so I allow her to work what she good at, and then I work in what I'm good at. So yeah.
All right, so let's close it off with intimacy.
Intimacy.
In my culture, we call it kelf, and we call it num in this family. Don't hold us to that, okay? And in America, what do you guys call it?
Hanky panky.
What else?
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we used to say nookie nookie.
So we're not going to go into details about that, okay? Because this is parental guidance is advised, all right? Yes. And of course, there are things that we want to keep in our household. We can't share about everything. But what we want to highlight when it comes to intimacy is that just be open to each other. Learn each other's love language.
Yes.
Speak to each other, understand each other. That will keep your marriage going and working.
Yes.
But also, make the marriage exciting. Like, we always want to do things a few things that are exciting. Like we have a date day.
Yes.
Where after church on Sundays we are all nicely dressed up. We do something nice, you know, for the day, just to spice up the marriage. Because Monday to Friday we're working.
Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday we're working.
You know, and so Sunday is like our day.
Our day.
And also the podcast has also helped us to actually be able to sit down and talk.
Yes,
You know, so this has been great for our marriage as well.
Yes.
So we're also learning a lot about each other through this podcast. While you learn about us, we're also learning about each other. But not just that, you know, be able to satisfy each other, find ways to do that, because, you know, intimacy plays a huge role in a marriage. And
that's second to a divorce.
Yeah.
Finance is number one. The intimacy is number two.
Yeah. So find ways to make it work. And we're not talking like the physical intimacy. We're talking even love languages.
Love languages.
If I, you know, my husband knows my love languages. Gifts, I love gifts. You know, I love affirmations.
And affirmations.
Yeah, and I know my
husband.
Touch. I love to be touched. You know, but not hit. Sometimes it hits my butt.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oops, did I just say that? Sometimes he does things that, okay, I didn't say that. You hear that from me. But anyways, my point is, like, communicate. Be open to each other. Be friends before you even become lovers.
Yes, be friends. I love that.
It's gonna work out, because sometimes you fall out of love in the marriage, and the only thing that will hold you together is the friendship
it's
part.
The friendship part.
That will take you through to the next phase. So yeah, very excited about that. So we're gonna take the machine from him, okay? So that he stops doing those things. Any last words you want to say, baby?
Yes, my last words is marry a friend. First, I'm gonna say it again. Before you get married and marry anybody, make sure you together.
What do you mean by that?
Make sure you got yourself together. Make sure you together.
Becoming complete.
Yes. Don't come in with baggage.
There'll always be baggage. Nobody comes in without baggage.
But no,
it could not be financial baggage. It could be family
but
baggage.
I'm talking about. Make sure you. I'm not gonna say baggage, but make sure you know what you want. Make sure you are working on yourself. Maybe you're not complete all the way, but at least you are working towards yourself. You know where you're headed. You know what you want. You know, maybe not all the way there yet, but you know what you want. And so that when you know what you want, you know what you need to work on, it's easier to find someone that to complete you. Why? Because you know your strengths, you know your weakness. I'm going to say it again. I'm not promoting the assessment, but this assessment is vital to knowing yourself and knowing your strengths and your weakness. So if you want to know that your personality style, go to chaplinlegacygroup.com and take the assessment. Take this, but knowing yourself. But it's very vital when you know who you are and working on yourself. Then it's easier to find the other person to complete you. So that's my last words.
My last words would be, involve God in that marriage.
That's number one, though. That's number one. That's number one.
Involve God in all that you do in that marriage. Without God being that first person in the marriage,
that's
that marriage is bound to crumble. Consult Him about
everything.
Instead of including your family, include God.
I'm gonna say a scripture. The Proverbs chapter 3. Solomon is a wise man. He said, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto thy own understanding." So in all things, and everything that you do, trust Him and then acknowledge Him. Lord, if this is my husband, this is your will. This is where you want me to go. It doesn't matter in marriage, business, ministries, going to school, whatever. Consult in the Lord and your life. And when you do that,
in marriage, because we're talking marriage right now, it's so important.
It's so important.
Marriage is a ministry. I cannot stress that enough. And the enemy does not like a happy marriage. So there'll always be some forces that will come in to try and destroy the marriage, especially when it's a marriage that's blooming, that's working. And so be alert, watch and pray always for your marriage.
Yes.
And just be careful not to involve a third person.
I want to say this.
The only third person should be.
I want to say this when we close off. As my mentor, Dr. Vernon, he said there's two most important dates in a person's life.
Yeah.
The day you accept Christ in your life, and the person you marry. It's the two most important dates of your life. The day you accept Christ and the person you marry. Because you gotta realize that the day you accept Christ in your life, your Lord and Savior, you know, your life will be changed forever. And then the person you was born, because you gotta make sure, you know, you choose the right one, because it's two personalities connected to be one.
And you're choosing for life.
And you're choosing
if
for
you
life.
choose wrong, you're gonna be
exactly, you're gonna be
life.
miserable, and that's how divorce happen. Because if you choose wrong, you really got to take time out to make sure you choose the right, because that's a major decision in your life. A day that you've been accept Christ in your life is a major decision, and the person you marry is a major decision that can affect your life.
Yeah,
it can affect your life.
Absolutely. So as we close off, we want to say yes, we're gonna be renewing our vows towards the end of the service. So excited about that. We'll be doing it in South Africa.
South Africa, big up to South Africa.
So
big ups to South Africa.
Yeah, and just pray us strength in our Lord in our marriage. You
Yes.
know, we understand that it's not by our might nor our power, nor even our actions that has put us where we are. We wanna grow all together. One thing that we didn't talk about is children, and I'm sure some of you guys
we'll talk about it one day.
asking, and we'll talk about it soon. And stay tuned. We will be sharing a lot, because we know that through our journeys and experiences, a lot of people will learn and will be safe from a lot of trouble. So we thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes,
and we just want to remind you to please subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe.
Please don't forget, leave us a comment, and do share the videos so that more
hit the
people get to
notification
see
bell.
it.
Yes, share.
And also, we'd love to be your friends on social media. Do follow us on all channels. Plus, you can follow us personally. You can follow me at Lady Season 1 on Instagram, and my husband
at Get Inspired by LJ on Instagram, and Get Inspired by LJ on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. And you can follow us on Chilling with the Chaplins on social media, as well as you can listen to the audio version of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. And please follow us. Hit that plus button. Hit that check button. Whatever it is to follow us. Follow us. Leave us a 5-star rating, and then write a review. It does help us. Your reviews, your follow goes a long ways to continue to grow the channel. And we just appreciate your support. And we thank you for being a part of us.
Yes.
And learning with us.
Yes, thank you so much. So we're gonna say hasta la vista.
Yes, we're gonna
See you next week.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yo, it's your boy LJ Chaplin with Lady Season, bringing to you Chilling with the Chaplins, where we deep dive, giving you practical concepts in ministry, business, relationship, and personal development, so we can take control of our life. Let's go and let's